If you have been considering moving to the Big Island of Hawaii, I will be sharing the things no one tells you about living in Hawaii. We all know that the Big Island of Hawaii is paradise with stunning beaches and tropical weather and a very laid-back lifestyle. But there's some aspects of living here that might surprise you. We live on an active volcano, you guys, and the island is divided into 9 lava zones. We have 9 lava zones that have been identified by the USGS, and the ones that have the lower risk for lava are coming into the neighborhood or zones 3 to 9. Ensuring your property in lava zone 1 and 2 is very, very challenging and expensive. And if you do need to get access to that information, you are more than welcome to message me and schedule an appointment to talk about more about your goals and locations so that you feel more safe about exploring these type of properties. Now let's talk about VOG. We have VOG, and VOG is short for volcanic haze. Sometimes the volcanoes go off, the VOG travels throughout the island, and some people experience headaches, they cough, they have allergy-like symptoms, or they get very itchy eyes, they start with fatigue. And VOG happens really sporadically. It is not really a seasonal thing. And I often get asked, well, I have asthma and I want to know how bad is it? And the answer is you have to come out and experience it. I have clients who do have asthma and they have allergies, and whenever they are exploring buying property out here, I invite them to come here for a vacation so that they can acclimate and see what I'm talking about with this VOG, right? And so it'll truly depends on your body. We also have earthquakes. According to the USGS, thousands of earthquakes occur every single year in the state of Hawaii. When we experience these shakes, we are so used to them because we experience them quite often all throughout the year. The earthquakes happen when there is movement from the active volcanoes, and sometimes they do travel throughout the islands. You will see that some properties do have some cracks on the foundation due to these earthquakes. So that is why it's extremely important to conduct an inspection prior to purchasing property here in the island. It is imperative that you run these houses through a licensed inspector. We also have what is called tropical showers. And we live in the tropics. In all areas of the island, we deal with rain. There are some areas, like on the east side of Hawaii, that deal with more rain as the west side of Hawaii. They get about 140 inches a year, but all throughout the island, we just think that we have these like rain showers, right? Locals know to always keep an umbrella in the car because we never know when the rain will strike. There's some areas like on the west side of Hawaii, this is where I live, they tend to be more dry. Here it usually rains around 27 inches a year, if I recall correctly, and it certainly rains less. With rain, you may see a double rainbow. That's the only upside for it. And obviously the plants will get watered and you will get those beautiful hues of color when the rain comes to the island, but we do experience rain showers. Some beaches are contaminated, okay? This will come to a surprise to many, but there's some beaches specifically near the pier on the west side of Hawaii where the water has high concentration of bacteria. The Hawaii State Department of Health retest these areas to make sure that the beaches are safe to the public, but you truly need to continue to check these websites for updates. When samples are undetermined, the state continues to retest, but the findings are posted online. The Kailua Pier or Kahaluu Bay are the beaches that historically amongst the locals we know to have high bacteria. If your skin is sensitive, sometimes you will experience a little bit of a rash, but certainly approach these areas with knowledge that the Department of Health monitors this data, and all of this information is online for the public to see. And if you want to make a decision on these beaches, you can connect with the Department of Health and explore this information in detail. There is no Amazon Prime. You may have an Amazon Prime account, but your package will get here on the island in a week or 3 from the date it gets ordered. So many of the items that you see on Amazon, including lithium batteries or big pieces of furniture, will not ship. So you will have to use a freight forwarder. You will have to have an established account with them, and in order for you guys to receive these products. There are items that are just definitely not shipping, and so for that you just have to have this freight forwarder. Another thing that people may not know before moving to Hawaii is that it's very hard to get those special food products. It is really challenging because there's no Trader Joe's. Out here, we fly in all of the foods. This goes with saying that if you had special honey, for example, that you really, really liked, it gives you an opportunity to support local and buy local foods that are made here on the island. The big stores like Costco, Target, and Walmart, that's really it. That's all we have. So my recommendation is to plan accordingly. If you really want those specialty products, make sure that they can ship to Hawaii. We are so dependent on the supply chain. I don't think people who just moved to the island realize how dependent we are on the supply chain. It is a bit scary to think what would happen if shipments from Matson cannot get to the island because lots of people depend on the groceries at Costco. And if there's a delay on shipments due to ships not being able to make it out here, it is truly scary. Also know that we are always paying a premium for products because we're paying for the overhead. You will see that a gallon of milk, for example, it's $10, and on the mainland it's $4, so you will see those hikes in prices. Now, let's talk about mongooses, goats, and wild pigs. They're truly everywhere. Let's start with the mongooses, or the Hawaiian squirrel as we sometimes call them. These little guys are super cute. They were brought in the 1900s to eradicate rats from the sugarcane field. Very, very little research was done. And once those mongooses were brought to the island, these farmers realized that rats were sleeping in the morning and mongooses were sleeping at night. So the efforts to eradicate these rats failed miserably, and we now have a lot of mongooses. These mongooses just like to keep to themselves, and they will travel through your yard. You will see them in your yard, and they will run through the highway super fast. And just respect them because they're the residents of the island. They're here to stay. In more rural areas that back into state land, you will see wild goats and wild pigs. There are a lot of local hunters that do hunt for these animals. But if you're not a hunter, you can just choose to stay away, see them from far away, and try to keep your distance. A really nice place to go see goats is the end of the world in Keaho or Manalani. They're truly everywhere, but those are my go-to places. You can also see wild pigs, and if you purchase property in a rural area, these guys are feral. You want to stay away from them if they're dark in color because they may lounge at you. So just be very careful. We also have what is called KiFrogs. KiFrogs are located all over the island, and they come out and sing as soon as the sun sets. The noise can bother some residents, not everybody, but some, and they're very present in some subdivisions of the island. We have what is called Koki Pest Control. It is very important for you to do your research beforehand, because if you purchase in a subdivision where KiFrogs are very present and you cannot deal with that, you're gonna be stuck with that problem. A rule of thumb is that if you are exploring on an area that is remote and has more land, the chances of you hearing the KiFrog is higher than if you were to be closer to the ocean. Let's talk about island time. Living in Hawaii, we have a concept of time called island time. This means that things might operate at a more relaxed pace compared to what you are used to on the mainland. You will experience those moments of frustration at the store or restaurants, and you just need to breathe it in. You will find that your medical appointments are sometimes 3 to 4 weeks out. You will see that if your car breaks down, you will experience long lead times for somebody to just come and look at your car and fix it. And sometimes even for parts, it's sometimes months out. In restaurants, if you say, let me speak to your manager, may not take you anywhere positive. The island as a whole struggles with workforce. Sometimes restaurants don't have enough employees to cover the demand. So here on the island, we operate from a place of being grateful that we have a server or someone who answers a service call if we need anything. My biggest piece of advice is to breathe through the situation and remind yourself that you are here on an island and you're experiencing what we call island time. We have Reef here on the islands. The whole island is surrounded by Reef, and Reef is a very protected by the locals. And we try to share with visitors that we need to utilize Reef Safe sunscreen to continue to protect our ocean. And this goes without saying, but please respect the honus and the marine life. Dolphins, turtles, monk seals, they're all protected. And if you see them from far, try your best to not harass them. We all want to see them. It's so sweet when we see the dolphins, but the harassing them part is just not right. We need to let them have their space. I promise you that if you live here long enough, you're gonna see plenty, but just try your best to respect the marine life. Please do not honk your horn. Look, all cars have it, but in Hawaii, we just use it if we really, really, really need to use it. This is not the mainland, and it is considered super disrespectful. Culturally, on the mainland, it's very typical to use it, but out here, it's just a big, big no-no. Let's talk about sports. If you are into sports, we don't have football stadiums on this island, or we don't host any huge sporting events. We are truly bound to celebrate via TV, and because these events are transmitted sometimes at 3 or 4 a.m., just prep to be up early to watch the game. The high cost of paradise, it's truly a thing. I'm a licensed real estate agent located here on the Big Island of Hawaii, and I specialize in relocation, and I can share with you that if you're looking to purchase a home here on the west side of Hawaii, you're looking at a minimum of $700,000 to find a decent fixer. A more upgraded home will start to show up at around $1 million. And know that while Hawaii is a dream destination to many, your move will come at a cost. The rental market here is very challenging, especially if you're traveling with a pet or a big family, and pricey here on the west side. And the high cost of living is sometimes one that catches newcomers off guard. Let's talk about the spirit of aloha. The one thing that nobody can deny is that Hawaii has this beautiful spirit of aloha. The locals are incredibly friendly, welcoming, and embrace you into the community. So take the opportunity to connect with your neighbors, participate as much as you can in local events, and immerse yourself in the Hawaiian culture. If you don't participate, or if you do not incorporate into the culture and lean into the ways of living here in Hawaii, you will find your stay in Hawaii very, very, very difficult. Let's talk about the public system here in Hawaii for a little bit. We have one of the lowest public school rating when compared to the mainland. We value our keiki, and I believe I speak for all the parents that live here that we want the best for them. However, you can go online and see this for yourself. We have a really low school rating, but I certainly cannot think about another place on earth to raise our child. Here, it is very community driven. School teach the kids to make leis, to dance hula, to respect the elders. The schools are very driven to the arts, and most school programs involve dances and arts and outdoor activities. We have beaches, and this island is so outdoorsy, and there's so many activities for kids. There are private schools like HPA, Makualani, Innovations, and if you're trying to find a school that is private that can offer higher levels of education, definitely explore private. Let's talk about respect. The locals will welcome you into entering the island with respect. If you come with attitude, treating people like they owe you something or demand services at a public place, you may be kicked out. We have what is called a coconut wireless, and people that are very rude, they may end up at a local Facebook group page with a picture of them being rude to the people, and is just not the right way of entering Hawaii. There are people who are displaced, who are homeless. In Old Airport here on the west side of Hawaii, you can see a lot of people pushing shopping carts and their luggage. And you can see them in Hilo or Mountain View if you drive around enough. If you find it in your heart, you can always offer them a donation, clothes or shoes. These are people that, for the most part, are dealing with mental illness and are just mentally struggling, right? So even though they're homeless, Hawaii is their home. So just try to be respectful to the community and to their situation. Let's talk about beaches. All beaches are public. You do not own the water line. Sand is public land, period. If you're wanting to purchase a home here in Paradise, know that you do not own the beach, right? Places like Kukio, Hualalai, where the homes are $20 million, it's the same situation, right? If the home is located on a public beach, you will see people cruising with their beach umbrella and they may park right in front of your home. That comes with the territory. So you guys, I hope that you enjoyed discovering these least known aspects of living in Hawaii. If you're planning to make the move, I would love to be of service. Feel free to utilize the form in the link below to stay in touch with me and to schedule a time to go over your search parameters. My name is Maly, and I will see you on the next video. Aloha.